My name is Greg Murphy. I'm one of the owners at RevoluSun. So a lot of folks ask, does solar work in the Pacific Northwest? This is the best way to show that. That's what the customer was paying the utility. Here, they're paying about $275 a month on that. And then after RevoluSun installed solar, you see those bars, how they disappeared? That's now all of their electricity is being taken care of from the sun. We take 30 years of weather data. We know, look at the orientation, the pitch of your roof. And with some of the great programs that the utility has, actually you can have no electric bill. It's a pretty remarkable thing there. Plus affordability. People are like, well, a lot of folks have money lying around just to buy these systems. So what they do is they'll have us put the solar on the roof with no money out of pocket. So instead of paying, instead of paying the utility that $275, like these guys are not paying that anymore, they take that $275 plus a little bit more to pay their system off. So it just kind of offsets it in a pretty simple way there. And then the value of solar. So when you put solar on your home, it can actually increase your home value by about 4%. The other part is long-term costs. It's like with the utility, because the rates continue to go up. I think that we've gone 27%, they've gone up in the last 3 years. I'm gonna put solar on my home, and I'm gonna have a monthly payment that's a bit higher than what you're paying the utility, but there's a beginning and end. And once you pay it off, it's good, you're done. So people go, how long does it last? Life expectancy of 50 years on the panels themselves, there's no moving parts. Now this is the Tesla ecosystem here on the energy side. So we're gonna hit on generation from the traditional solar panels to the solar roof, and I've got a little tile here I'll pass around and show you folks in a minute, to the batteries here, and then also to their charger system. The different types of solar panels that are available, we have, so Tesla, it's really amazing. They just came out with another, their own solar panels. It's a US made product. We're really excited about that. They're coming into the market. So there's a couple different options based on price points and what's most important to the homeowner there on costs on those there. So you have the solar panels on the roof, but how is it adhered to the roof? We have what's called our counter flashings, our racking system, the solar panels, the inverters, and then the Tesla Powerwall. That's how it all plays out here. And a little bit, probably the most important thing, we can talk about the equipment, but how it's installed is actually the biggest thing to consider. This is probably one of the areas that I have, because I started out my own business installing, and we are so picky on this. I will not skip on this because drilling 50 holes in somebody's roof, you better know what you're doing. That's all I gotta say. Because these things are gonna be up there for a lifetime and they have to work. So we put a lot of focus on how we install. All the flashings, everything we use are Florida hurricane rated. So can they handle strong winds? Absolutely. Snow loads, we do a lot of installations in McCall, Sandpoint area, Sun Valley, where you've got a ton of snow, and so we call them snow loading. And so the panels we choose have to be able to handle all those types of things there. But when we install a system, they're called counter flashings. Water will literally run down the roof, and it will literally have to climb an inch. That's not an inch, that's about an inch, to ever creating leaks. That's why I've done over 15,000 installations. I've never had a roof leak doing that type of stuff. So it means a lot to us that we do it that way. What makes Tesla so unique? There's no other battery manufacturer, residential battery manufacturer, solar manufacturer, or power electronics company that does what they do. So the exact same batteries that are in that car are in here and in here. So what they do is they just set up the form factor and they just make it look nice. The same inverter that takes this power from the house, takes it in and plugs in your car, that converts AC to DC in the car and powers it, are the same inverters that are in here that convert some power to home power. So that's why they have such reliability. I think there's over last time I read, like 7.3 million cars in circulation. So what that gives Tesla, nobody has that type of a history and reliability that Tesla has. And that's why we've just stuck with it. If there was another product that was better, I would use it. It's just that simple. And we've installed other products, but they're just not as robust or as good as a Tesla system here. Now I'm going to transition a little bit to the Tesla solar roof. This here is they call the tile here. And so a little bit about how it comes together. So you have here, first of all, it's called a Tesla underlayment. They had to make their own underlayment because nobody had the ability to make something that would be, because underneath the panels, they sit up about an inch above the roof. And so it had to be a really solid underlayment they built. And then you can see how the tiles literally link in, they bolt down here, and the next one lays just like that, right underneath there. And so just like normal shingles would lay out, they have their drip edge, their power connectors, and it all just connects in and makes a nice, robust system there on the roof. People always ask, how durable are these? They are durable enough to where they have the wind rating of class 5. It's the highest rating you can get. It's a hurricane rated tile up there. Also fire rating. So if you're in a massive fire country, these are great to have the highest ratings. The class 4 hail rating, the highest you can get as well. So very durable with these guys. So now I want to talk a little bit about why are people installing batteries? What's the reasoning for that? I don't know if you heard about some of these stories, but these are actual attacks that have happened to substations. And in Meridian, there was this young lad that actually shot a substation with his .22 and shut down a portion of the city. And so it's a form of terrorism, domestic terrorism. And so a lot of folks are really concerned about that. And that's one of the reasons why so many people are putting batteries in, because when you start to see how fragile our grid actually is. My wife and I were on our 30th anniversary, and we were way across the pond, and my daughter was home, and we lost power. And I was able to see it on my little app, and it was just a great thing. My house just ran perfectly. My daughter didn't even know what happened, because what will happen is if a power failure, these things will turn on within 100th of a second. You'll see the lights flicker sometimes. That's it. I don't have to reset the internet. I don't have to reset clocks on my microwave. And then the same, when the power comes back on, it'll just turn the power back on to the grid. People want to know, how much power can these guys hold there? So each one of these batteries can actually hold 13.5 kilowatt hours a day. 2 of these could take care of an average home quite well, you know? So people want to go, well, Greg, how long will this guy last? How long, if I put it in my home, will it last? And I would argue indefinitely. If the grid goes down tomorrow, my house will run indefinitely. Because every day during the nighttime, my batteries are drawing down. I can see on my Tesla how much power I have left. And I can just go, sweetie, let's shut the, mellow out on the lights. We don't have to have the AC running or something like that. And I'll watch it. But the next day, the sun will come up and recharge the batteries. And so what we found, and that will happen indefinitely. When you put in your first Tesla Powerwall, and they have what's called this gateway literally will sense a grid failure in that 100th of a second and will take power back and forth, because you don't want power going back in the grid when the linemen are working on the grid. It'll literally electrocute them. So it will protect that and make sure that energy stays in your home. Once you install a new Tesla Powerwall, the main one, they've come out with these things called expansion packs that literally you can just loop them together and stack these things up to put a bunch of power in your house. They've turned out now to where some jurisdictions don't even require you to pull a permit. Here's why. It's like an appliance. The main panel system is already there. Now you can come put this thing up in front of it. So those little connectors right there, they plug in and plug in. You're done. Hey, I want to share something with what's going to be happening in the grid that's already starting to happen in Idaho Power in the Boise area here, where these batteries now are just for a resiliency play for us. So I have them in my garage, and they're just there just to deal with a power outage. But in Boise, in Idaho Power, they're struggling to get energy at night, because here's how it works. This is the utility. Everybody comes home at night and uses power, right? That's from about 5 o'clock to 10. Laundry, dish, the whole thing, cooking, massive power needs. That's what they're facing with right now. And so everybody wakes up in the morning and then they go to work, and that's the lowest power draw on the grid. But look at what's happening. You see how solar wakes up in the morning? It's putting more power back in the grid when the utility doesn't need it. And it's starting to create some challenges to the grid. So what they're saying to us is that, hey, Greg, can we design the battery system that will take this power during the day and put it into the battery, and then dispatch that power at night out of the battery? And when they do, that customer gets credited 17 cents a kilowatt hour, 150% more than what they're paying for it. So now these batteries are like little cash machines sitting in people's garages. That's the future that Avista is talking about. Like, this is going to start happening in every utility coming up. And it's an incredible, in Hawaii, boy, it's crazy there what they're doing. And the incentives, they keep getting better and better, because try this. Try to go out and build a new power plant today. It's very expensive, very costly for the utility, but if the utility can even incentivize people to put batteries in their homes, they're now helping stabilize the grid, because that is going to keep growing with electronics and people coming here and electric cars coming in and charging. And now they're going to take solar energy and dispatch it at night. So that's why thinking about future-proofing your home, it's a great way to do that. If you, even folks like me that have the Tesla Powerwall 2 like you and I do, the software that Tesla has already overlaid, literally it's a click of a button and it'll just do it. This is one of the coolest things about buying Tesla products, is that it's just the machine, it's just batteries, same as the car, but it's the software overlays and the over-air updates that they constantly do to always make it better. If you drive a Tesla car, you know what I'm talking about. And they do the same thing with their battery systems as well. So you're always going to get the latest and greatest in performance on that. If you've ever thought of adding batteries to your home, I want to encourage you to give us a call today, and you can see if solar or batteries are a right fit for you.